On Prenup Challenge, 3 engaged couples are flown to a remote tropical island to test their compatibility. Do they have what it takes to make marriage work? Can they face the truth?
We want to see that they are on the same page, they are communicating, they realize what is valuable and important to their partner.
My parents obviously made a huge sacrifice coming here from Vietnam.
They're from Croatia. Oh. And there it was like the man worked and the woman took care of everything.
3 or 4 bedroom apartment. My dad and his 3 brothers and their wives and their children, we all lived together.
Growing up, I'd say very typical family. My mom stayed home and my dad went out to work.
You can build a house together, but with kids, I think that's just a huge commitment.
Other people's kids, you know, you're great. Yeah,
No
okay.
shaking.
Well, not the shaking part.
Values are what define us. This is how we think, what we believe in, how we feel we should act. Anything from finances to religion to how we want to raise kids, they're attached to values. How do you feel about kids?
1.
One?
If you're making a number, 1.
Yeah.
And,
And,
if we had to.
If you had to?
Yeah.
And what would make it a have-to situation?
Tracy makes me have to.
For me, I've always grown up with kids. My mother's babysat children for as long as I can remember.
I think our lifestyle is a priority to me right now. And
So
I know,
you feel that
I know
this would impinge upon it?
it impinge upon, you know, going out and, you know, in a 2-week span and spending $1,000 on dinners. I don't see my friends who have children doing that.
Jimmy had a really turbulent childhood. It was a very difficult childhood because he lost his mother. And in Tracy, I think for the first time, he's found stability and security that he really enjoys, and he kind of wants to keep to himself. She's even referred to him as playing the baby and expecting her to be the mother in many areas. And I think for him, this whole discrepancy they have about whether or not they should have children, a large part to me comes from he's found this woman who is nurturing and maternal. He doesn't want to share it with someone else. At this time, we'd like the 2 of you to negotiate what you think is a fair agreement.
My concern was, you know, any inheritance that you might have would be put aside at least for your child's education or whatnot that they might need in the future.
And we agree to that, and that's where I think the trust would come in, is to pay for any education or any needs of that child.
And then I don't see myself, you know, falling on hard times. A little bit of alimony would be great.
I don't think we will be in front of a group of people like this again and have to worry about that, because in my heart there will be no what ifs. I think we will be together and we won't get to that point.
This was one exercise where I don't think that Jimmy and Tracy got it. In him saying that it's not going to happen to us, he wasn't able to acknowledge that it is a distinct possibility for any couple. She, on the other hand, interestingly read something entirely different. She didn't read him as not acknowledging the possibility. She said, oh, that was so sweet. Her tears welled up in her eyes. That was so sweet that Jimmy said that he was going to make sure that he doesn't allow it to happen to us. So she heard what she wanted to hear. They did not attack each other. And they did not go to the other extreme where they pretended it wasn't an issue. They addressed the issue and they moved on. Nita and Kuhn, we've decided to send you to a very romantic dinner at Fort Young Restaurant. The reason that we chose you both is because you managed to stick to the problem. You came to middle ground that you were both happy with. And one of the things that we thought you'd really learned and demonstrated well is you persisted. Kuhn, you've had a problem persisting. When things kind of get rough, you back up and you give in. But you persisted and you continued to share with her until you two came to a compromise that you both felt could work. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Come on in.
Thank you for hanging in there, you two.
Thank you, Tom. That was very tough. And
I think this whole process of going through a prenup was hard.
It's harsh. It hurts.
Yeah.
Like it's not something I ever want to go through. Absolutely.
According to the experts, we were actually able to use some of the tips and tools that we learned throughout our conversations with them.
This is great for one night, but then when you come home, you got so many things that you have to talk about, and so take that home with us and say, hey, we can do it.